know that you did an animated movie in 2017 called Animal Crackers.
Yeah, as you know, with a movie, there's hundreds of people, and I it was based on a graphic novel that I wrote for my boys.
Did you like kind of storyboard it all and like make up all the shots and everything?
The story was a boy goes to the circus and he gets a box of magical animal crackers. But when I wrote the screenplay, I thought, let me make it a family inherits the animal crackers, and that's where John and Emily came in. You always have that leeway to change it however fits
Yes.
best the story. And then I wrote the screenplay, and then I got the funding to make the film. And to do that, I needed to have some people because I'd never written a film before, I'd never directed a film before, and so I had to, have a little bit of muscle behind me. So I got my friend Tony Bancroft, who directed Mulan, to co-direct with me, and then my friend Dean Laurie, who wrote Arrested Development. He came on and he co-wrote with me, and so with them on board, I kept rewriting the script, but I was also a producer, so I was, doing the cast. I mean, I didn't do the casting, but I was the one who made the decisions on, what we're doing with the casting and the animation and everything. But I was delegating pretty much everything. The only thing other than the writing and directing and the producing that, like I was doing the main thing, I did art direct. I said, I want it to be fall. I love fall colors. I want the sun to always be morning or early evening. So I want the shadows to be long, and I want the colors and the shadows to be purple. And so I was kind of putting in the things that I like into the movie. I was framing shots with shadows, but all I had to do was kind of give a playbook to the team, to tell them this is what I'm looking for, this is my color palette, this is what, and kind of teach them what I was looking for. And then from there, they're professionals. They were able to go and go from there. But yeah, I it's a very weird thing when somebody says, here's $20 million, go make a movie, and you just get to do whatever you wanted to do. Like, let's have Ian McKellen do a duet with Gilbert Gottfried, or something like that. And you're doing it. Or let's go get a song from Queen, and let's go, and so it was such an exciting time. We made the movie between 2014 and 2017.
Wow.
And then the film, the distributor went bankrupt, and we went to another distributor who couldn't put out the film, and then went to another distributor who couldn't put out the film. And so the film finally came out on Netflix in 2020. So it was 3 years that it was just kind of sitting there, and you think it's, like, is it ever going to come out? Is anybody ever going to see it? Yeah. So, but it was such an incredible. I mean, you've experienced it too. It's
Oh, yeah.
There's nothing like making movies.
That's so true.
It really is, and I love the collaborative effort. I love that you have other people, other talented people that you could work with and learn from and bounce ideas off of. And what do you think about this? And what if I try that?
Yeah. That's exactly what I'm trying to do. I'm also trying to make a movie as well. It's animated, but it's a live action animated hybrid.
Oh, nice.
So yes, that is exactly what I'm trying to do. So that's
well. If you need any animators or anything, you just let me know.
Thank you so much. Oh my gosh, thank you so much. Yes, I definitely will.
The key is to always be asking questions, because I think when you feel like you know everything is when things fall apart.
Yeah.
So absolutely, and being somebody who made their first film from, and we, like, it was me and my wife Donna, and Donna, she was a marketing major, I was an art major, and she just
That's perfect.
had to handle all of the writing the checks and the legal and we were just like, okay, we're gonna figure this out as we go. And there's there's a lot of ups and downs that happen in movies, and there's a lot of stuff that's really scary, and people will sue you, and they'll and you have to fire people, and people don't show up and whatever, and you have to be the one to believe in the film.
Yes.
Especially if it's yours. You have to be the soul of the film. You have to be the one who has that vision of what it's going to be, because people will come and go. People, even no knock to actors, obviously, but actors come in, they do their job, and then they go off, and they're not a part of the filmmaking process. And I was really disillusioned when I found out, because I thought, oh, I'll be hanging out with Sylvester Stallone and Danny DeVito every day. We'll just be making a movie together, and like John Krasinski would come in, and he was just directing. I think he had just directed his first film. This was long before A Quiet Place, but he was getting into directing, and so we would talk and kind of learning, like he's more of a film guy and whatnot, and so I would ask him a bunch of questions, and I just thought, like, we would just, it's like this is his film now too. This is all of your. I thought in that way that every actor came on and they took a collaborative part in this film. Well, I think you should do this now. But it wasn't. They come in, they do their job, and part of making movies that made me happiest was working with people I really liked.
Yeah. I actually met my best friend on a production.
Really?
And yes, we call every day and watch your videos every day. And actually, she would like to hop on and ask you a few questions, if that's okay.
I would be honored.
Amazing. Okay, so just a warning, she might freak out. So just letting you know in advance. Okay.
Hello.
Hi.
Nice to meet you.
Oh my gosh, it's so great to see you too.
So yeah, this is Avia, then this is Scott. I think you know that already, Avia.
Nice to meet you, Avia.
Oh my gosh, this is so cool.
Well, here, welcome to the Hobbit Hole. That's the Hobbit Hole. And so what production did you guys meet on?
We met on a actually, Avia, you can say that.
There you go.
Okay. So we met on a Nickelodeon commercial, and then we both met each other on the first day.
That's so cool.
2 years ago, yeah.
And you guys have remained friends ever since.
Mm-hmm,
Yeah.
Exactly.
That's so cool. I love it. And do you guys live near each other that you can see each other from time to time, or?
Well, a little bit too inconsistent.
FaceTime every day.
Yeah.
That's so cool. I'm so happy. So tell me, do you make art too?
Me? Oh yeah, I make a ton of art. I make a lot of art.
Look into Bear McCreary. He was our composer for Animal Crackers, and he is magical. Just the sweetest person, and I could tell you stories, but just wonderful. But I'd love to hear some of your music too at one point.
Since we were talking about the watercolor, I think watercolor is one of your favorite mediums, but what are your top 3 favorite mediums to work with?
Other than watercolor, it'd be gouache, which is just like watercolor but opaque. So you don't work at it the same way. And I like colored pencils and markers together. I like to mix them around together. And then probably just that little technique I've been doing with the dark purple colored pencil and the white colored pencil on a tan paper. I kind of like that too. It's just got a nice feel to it. So those would be my other 3.
And it really pops.
Yeah. And it's fun to switch around from medium to medium. Like I feel like doing this today, or I feel like doing that. And sometimes the subject matter will tell you what medium you need to work in. And when I want to be more designy, I'll use watercolor. If I want to get real painterly, I'll use gouache.
All right. Any other questions, Avia? Do you have any other questions? Any at all?
Yes, I do have another question. Art is such a huge part of your life, and I was wondering, if you hadn't gotten into art, what do you think you would have done instead?
I think not. We'll call art painting or illustration. I would have gone into music, which is something like I took guitar lessons and I took piano lessons, and it never stuck because I just was doing art. And I think I would have gotten into music.
I write music too, yeah.
Really?
Oh, yes. She's amazing.
Are you looking at maybe getting into film score as well, or?
Not really something I've thought of, just like playing and composing and stuff.
Okay.
I like all the arts, and
Yeah.
honestly, you're my favorite YouTuber.
Oh, thank you. If you ever want to get into film composing, look into Bear McCreary. He was our composer for Animal Crackers, and he is magical. Just the sweetest person, and I could tell you stories, but just wonderful. But I'd love to hear some of your music too at one point. There's something about music that no other art can do, and it just can move you. It can make you dance. It can make you cry. It can make you happy. It can make you sad. And I can't do that with paint. I can't do that with, it was just, and I'm so jealous of musicians who can, it touches your soul in a certain way. And so I think I would love to be a small part of that, but I took a different path.
And I beg to differ. This is just my opinion. I think you've inspired many, many people, and that you have moved so many people with your art. And that brings me to your YouTube channel. So what started you, or what inspired you to make a YouTube channel?
Believe it or not, it was Dan Povenmire, the creator of Phineas and Ferb.
Wow.
He's also the voice of Dr. Doofenshmirtz in Phineas and Ferb. And so when we made Animal Crackers, I know this is a long story, apologies, but when we made Animal Crackers, we were at this point, and it's my script, so I'm to blame, but it was at the point where Ian McKellen's character was monologuing. This is why I'm the bad guy, basically, or this is why I'm the antagonist. And so after listening to it and watching it, I'm like, God, it's kind of slow. I mean, he's Ian McKellen, so it's fantastic, but it's kind of slow. And so I just had the idea, what if he breaks out into song? And I was talking to my casting director, and he says, well, there's two problems with that. He says, one, Ian McKellen is a Shakespearean actor. He doesn't sing. And two, we don't know how to write music. And I was like, okay, well, we'll figure out Ian later. We'll convince him to try to sing. But, so he asked me, well, what kind of music are you thinking of? And at the time, my boys were 12. And so I said, oh, they love Phineas and Ferb, and there's a musical number in every single episode. So it's just something like that. And he goes, I know, Dan and Swampy, the two creators. Within a week, I was on the phone with Dan and Swampy, and by the weekend, they'd written a song for us, and it was a duet with Ian McKellen and Gilbert Gottfried. And fast forward to 2020, I'm on TikTok, and I see Dan, and he's got 7 million followers. I've got 2 followers, and I'm like, hey, Dan, how you doing? And so, he follows me back, and then he would pop in on the lives, and we would chat. And then we actually had a studio that was interested in doing a sequel to Animal Crackers, and I talked to him about doing it as a musical. And so we were kind of on the phone a lot talking about the story and everything when he said, oh, hey, you got to try YouTube. TikTok doesn't, TikTok's, go to YouTube. And so he was the one who really convinced me. That was a long way of saying that, but it was a reason behind it.
That was,
he's
great.
He's the loveliest person, and he's so funny, and he's so talented. And when we were making Animal Crackers, my boys wanted to meet him and Swampy, and they did drawings of Perry the Platypus and Phineas and Ferb and Doofenshmirtz, and it was just so great. They were just so nice to the boys, and you always love that.
That's great.
You have a lot of experience, and you always talk about how draw everything every day, and that gives you practice and stuff, and lots of practice. What is some advice that you would give to your past self about art?
A couple. First thing I would say is to stop drawing everything out of your head. I kept drawing my original character, Orion the Barbarian, out of my head every day, and I just would draw and I would get an eye and a half of a nose and go, nope, turn the page, and I'd nope, turn the page, and I just kept drawing.
Sounds like
over
someone I know.
But that's it's what kids do is they'll draw their original characters, or they'll draw their favorite anime or whatever it might be, and they just keep drawing it over and over and over again. And so I would tell myself to just start drawing the world around you, start drawing things, because that's how you get better, is by drawing the world around you, drawing things. Once you start to understand shape and volume and light and shadow and proportions and everything like that, then your drawings out of your head are going to get much better. So that's the first thing I would say. The second thing I would say to my college self would be to not be afraid of paint. I was so resistant to use a paintbrush. I just no. And I went through 4 years of college, and all of my fellow students were painting and doing these wonderful paints, and I was sitting there with my colored pencils, and just colored pencil, color. That's all I want to do, and then eventually I just got sick of it. But those are the two bits of advice. I would be not to be afraid to try something else, and to draw other things.
Yeah,
I love that.
I
love that. Combining
sorry, I just have something to say.
Sure.
Before you continue. Is there, Scott, like, could you elaborate more on why you didn't want to use paint, why you were afraid of it?
It was I felt confident in drawing, and drawing with colored pencils is pushing a pencil. You're pushing down, but painting is you're pulling up. It's completely the opposite. And so, because if you push down on a paintbrush, it's just going to go splat. So you got to kind of pull. Whereas, so I was like, no, I have a skill. I know what I'm doing. I am not going to start all over. And I wound up doing it at 40 something years old. But the point is that, it's kind of like I had to get to the end where it's like, I can't get any better with colored pencils. Colored pencils was just too limiting. But I am a very stubborn person. I was like, I'm going to do Spider-Man. And I just, waited till I was 30 years old till I did it. And I did it. No, I'm going to make a movie, and I'm going to wait. I'm very, I'll just hold on with, all my might to an ideal or something like that. And just, so I did. And that's why I didn't change. It was just, I felt like I would have to relearn, and I was already, I was going into art school, and I felt like I was really good at what I was doing. I was getting better and better. I think I just wanted to see it to the end.
That's crazy to picture, because you do all sorts of different types of things. And
yeah, I know.
You do this. Oh, I did that. It was cool. But
yeah. I tend to have a short attention span with everything, unless like I'm going to do the Dreamland Chronicles. I'm going to do this, and it's 8 books. It's 2,400 pages. Took me 10 years to do. But it's like I have a short attention span, but it's a real weird thing. It's like I have a short attention. Like I keep changing. I want to do this now, and then I'll go through like a period of 10 years of working on one thing. So I am a very weird person, and I'm just realizing that now. Thank you. Thank you very much.
You're probably looking at the 2 weirdest people on this planet.
That's true. That's very true.
Well, then I'm in good company. I'm good. I'm happy.
I have one last question before I have to go.
Okay.
And you might want to take your time on this, because this is like a deep question. So if you could only work with 5 art materials for the rest of your life, what would they be? Not including paper, pencil, and an eraser.
Probably the ones that I had already mentioned, which was, like watercolor and ink. I love that. I would do gouache for the 3rd one. And then colored pencils and markers. I'd really like to learn how to sculpt, though. I just don't know how many materials that takes. So clay and chisel and, so I can't say anything. But I'd like to learn how to sculpt one day. I think that would be really, really fun. I don't want to be Michelangelo. I don't want to be sitting, hitting a giant block of marble or anything like that. But I just want to just kind of get my hands dirty and do something in 3 dimensions.
It was really great meeting you.
It was so nice to meet you.
Wait, it was so nice to meet you. I'm
And-
such a big fan.
Thank you.
I binge all of your videos like every single day. It's
Thank
crazy.
you. I am in love with that painting. Thank you so much. It is absolutely gorgeous.
Oh, thank you.
Well, I hope to see you soon. We'll
Hmm.
do this again, maybe.
Yes.
I will definitely be on your lives.
Okay. Make sure you say hi. I'll tell Donna to look out for you.
Hi,
Bye.
Olivia.
Bye.
Thank you. Nice. Okay, so
You're so nice.
right, yes, the
The
best. Jigs.
Can I ask a couple questions?
Oh, of course.